Listen carefully. When I say today is special because you are still alive, I do not mean it in a poetic way. I do not mean it as something soft, sentimental, or emotional. I mean it in the most direct, grounded, disciplined way possible. The fact that you opened your eyes this morning is not ordinary. It is not automatic. It is not guaranteed. It is earned through survival. And survival alone is not something to celebrate. Awareness of survival is. Many people woke up today, but they did not awaken. There is a difference. To wake up is biological. To awaken is spiritual. To awaken is to recognize, I have been given another 24 hours. What will I do with them? Most people never ask this question. They drift, they react, they complain, they postpone, they scroll, they consume, they repeat yesterday, and then they wonder why life does not change. You are still alive. Congratulations. But do not misunderstand this congratulation. It is not applause. It is a responsibility. Breathing means your work is not finished. If your heart is still beating, it means there is something in you that has not yet been expressed, a strength not yet developed, a discipline not yet mastered, a potential not yet realized. Life does not keep you here by accident. It keeps you here because you are still in training. Look at your hands. They can build, they can serve, they can train, they can create. Look at your legs. They can move you forward. They can carry you through hardship. They can walk you toward purpose. Look at your mind. It can focus. It can learn. It can transform weakness into strength. But if you do not use what you have, you slowly lose it. Time is not neutral. It is either building you or eroding you. The tragedy is not death. The tragedy is living without awareness. The tragedy is having capacity and never testing it. The tragedy is having talent and choosing comfort instead. You are alive today. That means you still have time to correct your direction. Maybe you made mistakes. Good. That means you tried. Maybe you wasted years. Good. That means you learned. Maybe you failed publicly. Good. That means your ego was trained. Do not carry shame for being imperfect. Carry responsibility for becoming stronger. Being alive means you are still in the arena. Some people had dreams for today, plans, goals, conversations they never had, apologies they never spoke, courage they never gathered. And now their time is closed. Yours is not. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to sharpen you. When you understand that life is temporary, your focus becomes powerful. You stop arguing over nonsense. You stop chasing validation. You stop wasting energy proving yourself to people who are not building themselves. You begin to ask, what deserves my time? What deserves my focus? What deserves my effort? Awareness of death creates intensity of life. But most people avoid thinking about it because it makes them uncomfortable. And so they live comfortably and die with regret. You are still alive. So what will you do differently today? Will you train your body instead of neglecting it? This body is not permanent. It will age. It will weaken. But while it is strong, you must discipline it. Strength builds character. Physical training teaches you to endure discomfort voluntarily. And when you practice discomfort, life's challenges do not shock you. Will you train your mind instead of feeding it noise? Your mind is like a blade. If you do not sharpen it, it becomes dull. If you do not control it, it controls you. Thoughts become habits. Habits become identity. Identity becomes destiny. You are still alive. That means your destiny is still adjustable. Understand something clearly. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. As long as you breathe, you are eligible for transformation. But eligibility does not mean automatic success. It means opportunity. Opportunity requires action. If you woke up today with breath in your lungs, that is your invitation, not to celebrate lazily, not to feel lucky, but to commit more deeply. Ask yourself honestly, are you proud of your current level of discipline? Not your intentions, not your plans. Your discipline intentions are easy. Discipline is rare. You may say, I want to change. Many people want to change. Wanting does not build muscle. Wanting does not build knowledge. Wanting does not build character. Doing does. You are alive, so do. Start small if you must. Wake up earlier. Train for 30 minutes. Read 10 pages. Practice silence. Control your reactions. Speak less. Observe more. And remember, life is not testing your talent. It is testing your consistency. The reason many people remain average is not lack of intelligence. It is lack of sustained effort. They start strong. They stop quickly. They wait for motivation. But motivation is unreliable. Discipline is dependable. Being alive today gives you another repetition, another round, another chance to practice consistency. Do not waste this repetition. Imagine a warrior training every day, not because he feels inspired, not because someone is watching, but because he understands that one day he may need that strength. And when that day comes, he will not have time to prepare. Life is the same. Challenges will come. Loss will come. Responsibility will increase. If you are not training now, you will break then. Today is special because you are being given preparation time, and preparation time is sacred. Most people misuse preparation. They relax when they should refine. They indulge when they should improve. They distract themselves when they should develop skill. And then when difficulty arrives, they blame fate. Fate did not fail them. Discipline did. You are alive. That means you still have the ability to strengthen your foundation. Do not chase outcomes. Build capability. If you build strength, opportunities follow. If you build skill, value increases. If you build discipline, confidence becomes natural. Confidence is not affirmations. Confidence is evidence. Evidence that you can endure. Evidence that you can focus. Evidence that you can complete what you start. Being alive today allows you to create that evidence. Another powerful truth: your environment may not change immediately. Your circumstances may not improve overnight, but your internal standard can change instantly. You can decide today, I no longer tolerate laziness in myself. I no longer tolerate excuses. I no longer negotiate with weakness. That decision costs nothing, but maintaining it costs everything. And that is where most people stop. They like the idea of transformation, they dislike the cost. But life always charges. If you do not pay the price of discipline, you will pay the price of regret. If you do not pay the price of effort, you will pay the price of mediocrity. If you do not pay the price of growth, you will pay the price of stagnation. You are alive today, so choose your price wisely. Remember this: the fact that you are breathing means you are still capable of becoming dangerous in a positive way. Dangerous to your old habits, dangerous to your limitations, dangerous to the version of you that settled for less. That version must die before your potential lives, but it cannot die if you keep feeding it comfort. Awareness is the first step. Action is the second. Consistency is the third. Identity transformation is the result. And it all begins with recognizing that today is not ordinary. You woke up with capacity. Do not waste capacity. Years from now, you will either say, I am grateful I used my time, or I wish I had taken it seriously. The choice is not dramatic. It is daily. Today you are alive. That means the story is still being written. But you are not just the character. You are the author through your actions. Write with discipline. Write with courage. Write with focus. And when laziness whispers, remember, there were people who would have given anything for one more sunrise. You have it, so stand up with gratitude, not passive gratitude, but active gratitude. Gratitude expressed through effort. Gratitude expressed through self-control. Gratitude expressed through growth. Congratulations, you are alive. Now prove that you deserve the day. Listen carefully. When I say today is special because energy is shifting, I am not speaking about something mystical or dramatic. I am speaking about something subtle, powerful, and extremely practical. Energy shifts the moment you decide to shift, not when the world changes, not when your circumstances improve, not when someone finally understands you. Energy shifts when you make a clear internal decision. Most people wait for external signs. They wait for motivation, they wait for encouragement, they wait for the right mood. And while they are waiting, time moves, opportunities pass, momentum dies. Energy does not reward hesitation. Today feels different because it is offering you a moment of clarity, a moment where you can see your patterns more clearly, a moment where you can recognize what is draining you and what is strengthening you. That awareness is the shift, but awareness alone is not transformation. You must act on it. There comes a day in every person's life where excuses stop feeling comfortable, where distraction starts feeling empty, where repeating the same habits becomes painful. That discomfort is not a curse, it is a signal. It is your internal system saying, it is time. And today may be that time for you. Energy shifts when you stop tolerating what weakens you. Think about this carefully. What are you tolerating right now? Laziness, poor discipline, negative self-talk, toxic environments, endless scrolling, weak routines. What you tolerate becomes your standard, and your standard determines your life. If you tolerate waking up late, you will build a late life. If you tolerate inconsistency, you will build unstable results. If you tolerate emotional reactions, you will build chaos. But if today you decide, I no longer tolerate this from myself, something powerful happens. Your posture changes, your tone changes, your focus sharpens. You move differently. That is the shift. Energy is not magic. It is alignment between decision and action. Most people say they want change, but their daily behavior says they want comfort. This contradiction creates inner conflict, and inner conflict drains energy. Clarity creates power. If you decide clearly, I will train every day, and then you train every day, your mind becomes calm. Why? Because there is no internal debate, no negotiation, no guilt. Indecision is exhausting. Discipline is freeing. Today is special because it offers you a clean line in the sand. Before today, maybe you were inconsistent, maybe you were distracted, maybe you were half committed. But today can be the day you remove the half. Half effort creates half confidence. Half discipline creates half results. Half focus creates half growth. When you go all in on self-mastery, energy naturally increases. But understand something deeply. The shift will not feel comfortable. The moment you decide to become more disciplined, your old habits will fight back. Your mind will suggest rest. It will suggest starting tomorrow. Your mind wants safety. Growth requires risk. This is where most people fail. They think that when they decide to improve, it should feel smooth, but it feels uncomfortable because you are stepping into unfamiliar territory. Unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It means growth. Energy shifts when you stop identifying with your past behavior. If you were lazy before, that does not mean you are lazy. It me. And you practiced laziness. If you were inconsistent before, that does not mean you are incapable. It means you trained inconsistency. What you practice strengthens. So today, practice something new. Practice waking up without negotiating. Practice finishing what you start. Practice silence when emotions rise. Practice focus when distractions appear. Every time you override an old pattern, you weaken it. Every time you repeat a new pattern, you strengthen it. That is how energy transforms. Momentum is not created by intensity. It is created by repetition. Many people wait for a dramatic breakthrough. They want a big moment that changes everything. But real shifts are quiet. They happen in small, consistent actions that no one sees. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, choosing water over sugar, choosing training over comfort, choosing study over entertainment, choosing silence over argument. These small decisions compound, and suddenly, one day, you realize, I am not the same person anymore. That is the shift, but you must protect it. When you feel clarity today, do not waste it by overthinking. Do not waste it by announcing it to everyone. Do not waste it by making unrealistic promises. Anchor it with action. Do one difficult thing today that your old self would avoid. That single action sends a message to your nervous system. We are changing. Your brain begins to adapt. Your confidence grows because you have evidence. And once you have evidence, doubt weakens. Understand this clearly. You cannot think your way into a new life. You must behave your way into a new life. Behavior changes identity, and identity changes destiny. Energy also shifts when you stop blaming. Blame keeps you stuck in reaction mode. Responsibility puts you in creator mode. Maybe your past was unfair. Maybe you lacked guidance. Maybe you faced obstacles others did not. That may be true. But if you keep using that as explanation for inaction, you remain powerless. The moment you say, regardless of what happened, I take full responsibility for what happens next, you reclaim power. Power feels different. It feels grounded. It feels calm. It feels focused. Victim energy feels scattered. Creator energy feels sharp. Today is special because you can choose which energy you operate from. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control other people. You cannot control the past. But you can control your effort. You can control your response. You can control your standards. That control is strength. And strength builds momentum. Another important truth: your environment responds to your consistency, not your words. If you constantly talk about changing but remain the same, people stop taking you seriously. But when you quietly shift your habits, your environment adjusts. Respect increases. Opportunities increase. Trust increases. But even if nothing external changes immediately, something internal will. Self-respect. Self-respect is built when your actions match your promises. Every time you say, I will wake up early, and you do, self-respect increases. Every time you say, I will train, and you train, self-respect increases. When self-respect increases, your tolerance for weakness decreases. And that is when real transformation begins. Energy shifts when you stop chasing motivation and start building structure. Structure removes decision fatigue. If your training time is fixed, you do not debate. If your study time is fixed, you do not question. If your sleep time is fixed, you do not scroll endlessly. Structure creates freedom. Without structure, your emotions control your schedule. With structure, your schedule controls your emotions. And disciplined emotions create powerful results. Today may not look extraordinary from the outside. The sun rises like every other day. People move like every other day. Noise continues like every other day. But inside you, something can be different. You can draw a clear line between who you were and who you are becoming. You can say, from this day forward, I operate at a higher standard. And then you prove it, not with intensity for 1 week, but with quiet consistency for months. Energy does not shift because of one speech. It shifts because you internalize the message and act. So ask yourself now, what is one behavior I will eliminate starting today? What is one behavior I will implement starting today? Keep it simple, keep it clear, keep it non-negotiable. Then execute. No drama, no announcement, no emotional spike, just action. And when tomorrow comes, repeat. That repetition is the real shift. One day you will look back and realize that this was the moment everything started to change. Not because lightning struck, not because life suddenly became easy, but because you became decisive. Energy shifts when you do. So do not wait for another sign. This is it. Today is special because it is offering you alignment. Decide, act, repeat, and watch your life move in the direction of your discipline. Listen carefully. When I say today is special because your time is limited, I am not trying to pressure you with fear. I am trying to sharpen you with truth. There is a difference. Fear makes you panic. Truth makes you precise. You are not here forever. Read that again in your mind. You are not here forever. Most people live as if they are permanent. They postpone their discipline. They delay their growth. They assume There will always be another year, another month, another opportunity. And because they assume abundance of time, they waste the little they actually have. Time is the only resource that does not negotiate. Money can return. Energy can be restored. Reputation can be rebuilt. Skills can be relearned. But a wasted day, it is gone. Completely, irretrievably. And the danger is this: a single wasted day feels harmless, but wasted days compound just like disciplined days do. One day of laziness becomes a week becomes a month becomes a year, and suddenly you wake up and realize you are living a life you never consciously chose. That is how drift happens. You do not wake up one morning and decide to become average. You slowly tolerate small compromises. You slowly accept lower standards. You slowly stop pushing, and because the decline is gradual, you do not notice it. Time is limited, which means your growth window is limited. Your youth will not return. Your current level of health will not always be here. Your present opportunities will not stay open forever. There are doors in life that close quietly, not with noise, not with warning. Just silence. If you understood deeply that your time is finite, how would you behave differently today? Would you still scroll for hours? Would you still delay your training? Would you still entertain distractions that add no value? Would you still tolerate weak habits? Or would you move with urgency? Urgency does not mean anxiety. Urgency means clarity about priority. When you understand that your time is limited, you stop arguing over small things. You stop chasing approval. You stop trying to impress people who are not building themselves. You conserve your energy for what truly matters, because energy plus time equals life. And if your time is limited, then your life is limited. This realization is not depressing, it is empowering. Why? Because it removes illusion. It forces you to ask the real question: if I only had a certain number of days left, would I be proud of how I am spending them? Do not avoid this question. Sigh, tea with it. Your answer will reveal your truth. Many people know they are capable of more. They feel it, they sense it, but they act as if they have endless time to unlock it. You do not. The version of you that could have been stronger, wiser, more disciplined, that version does not appear automatically. It must be built, and building requires time. Focused time, intentional time. Every day you choose comfort over growth. You delay that construction. And here is the uncomfortable truth. There will come a day when your body no longer responds the same way, when your energy declines, when your responsibilities increase, when your freedom decreases. If you wait for the perfect time to build strength, you may miss the window. Right now, you have capacity. Right now, you have the ability to endure discomfort. Right now, you can train harder than you think. Why waste that? People say, I will start next month, but next month is not guaranteed. Even if it arrives, your mindset might not be the same. Your circumstances might shift. Your motivation might fade. The only guaranteed moment you own is now, and most people trade it cheaply. They trade it for entertainment, for gossip, for temporary pleasure, for easy dopamine, for avoidance. But every trade has a cost. If you trade long-term growth for short-term comfort, you will pay later with regret. Regret is heavy, heavier than discipline, heavier than effort, heavier than discomfort. Discipline is pain in the present. Regret is pain in the future. Choose your pain wisely. Time being limited also means comparison is useless. Why waste precious hours comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10? Why waste mental space envying someone who started earlier, trained harder, or had better circumstances? Their timeline is not yours, but your timeline is moving regardless. Instead of comparing, see, calculate. Calculate how many hours you waste weekly. Calculate how many days you have repeated the same routine without improvement. Calculate how many times you said, tomorrow. When you see the numbers clearly, urgency becomes natural, but urgency must be controlled. It must be directed. You do not need to change everything today. You need to change something today. One habit, one standard, one behavior. Because limited time does not mean frantic action. It means focused action. Focus is power. If you focus deeply on improving one area of your life for the next 90 days, you will not recognize yourself. But if you scatter your effort across distractions, 90 days will pass and nothing significant will shift. Time amplifies direction. If your direction is weak, time multiplies weakness. If your direction is strong, time multiplies strength. So ask yourself honestly, what direction am I moving in? If you continue exactly as you are now for the next year, will you be satisfied? If nothing changes, not your habits, not your discipline, not your effort, will you be proud? If the answer is no, then today is special. Because today is a pivot point. Pivots are small movements with large consequences. A ship changes direction by a few degrees, and months later it arrives in a completely different country. You change your daily routine by a few disciplined decisions, and years later you arrive in a completely different life. But the pivot must happen while you still have time. Another powerful truth: death is certain, but timing is uncertain. This is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create intensity. When you understand that life is temporary, gratitude becomes stronger, focus becomes sharper, excuses become weaker. You stop saying, "I have time." You start saying, "I have today." And today is enough to begin. Do not misunderstand this message as pressure to achieve everything immediately. That is ego. This is about asking yourself daily, am I moving forward or drifting? Forward does not mean fast. It means intentional. Even small progress compounds. Reading 10 pages daily becomes 3,650 pages in a year. Training 30 minutes daily becomes 182 hours of strength building. Saving a small amount consistently becomes stability. Time rewards consistency, but time punishes delay. You cannot escape this law. If your time is limited, then your focus must be protected. Guard it. Guard your mornings. Guard your routines. Guard your standards. Guard your energy. Say no more often. Reduce noise. Eliminate what weakens you, because every distraction steals life. Not metaphorically, literally. If you spend 3 hours daily on meaningless consumption, that is over 1,000 hours per year, that is weeks of your existence given away. Is that worth it? You must become ruthless with how you invest your time. Not cruel, not cold, just clear. Clear about what builds you, clear about what drains you, and once you are clear, act accordingly. One day, whether decades from now or sooner, you will look back at this period of your life and you will see either discipline or delay. You will see either courage or comfort. You will see either growth or excuses. That future version of you depends entirely on how you treat time now. Today is special because it reminds you, you are not immortal, you are not infinite, you are temporary, and temporary things must be used wisely. So do not move through this day casually, move through it intentionally. Train your body, because one day it will weaken. Sharpen your mind, because one day it will slow. Strengthen your character, because that is what will remain when everything else fades. Limited time is not a threat, it is a gift. It forces you to prioritize. It forces you to focus. It forces you to decide who you want to be before the clock runs out. You are still here, which means you still have time, but not unlimited time. Use it like it matters, because it does. Listen carefully. When I say today is special because you are being called, I am not speaking about a voice from the sky. I am speaking about something far more intimate and far more powerful. The quiet tension inside you that refuses to let you settle. That restlessness you feel when you know you can do more. That discomfort when you waste a day. That irritation when you break your own promise. That is the call. Most people misunderstand this feeling. They label it stress, they label it dissatisfaction, they label it anxiety. But in many cases, it is not anxiety. It is awareness of unused potential. There is a version of you that already exists in possibility. Stronger, more disciplined, more focused, more calm under pressure, less reactive, less distracted. And every time you act below your capability, you feel friction. That friction is not punishment. It is alignment trying to happen. You are being called upward. But understand something clearly. A calling is not comfortable. A calling disrupts your current identity. It challenges your habits. It demands that you let go of the familiar. And most people would rather stay comfortable than answer the call. Comfort is seductive. It whispers, you can start tomorrow. It whispers, you've done enough. It whispers, relax, you deserve it. And slowly, quietly, it lowers your standard. The calling does the opposite. It whispers, wake up. It whispers, this is not your highest level. It whispers, you are capable of more. Today is special because the call feels louder. You feel it more clearly. Maybe you are tired of repeating the same patterns. Maybe you are tired of your own excuses. Maybe you are tired of knowing what to do but not doing it. That exhaustion with your old self is not weakness, it is readiness. When you become dissatisfied with your own mediocrity, transformation becomes possible. But here is the danger. Inspiration without action fades quickly. Many people feel the call. Very few respond to it with discipline. Responding to the call does not mean making a dramatic announcement. It means making a quiet commitment. It means deciding, from this day forward, I raise my standard. Not for applause, not for validation, not to impress anyone, but because you respect your potential too much to waste it. A calling requires responsibility. If you feel capable of more, then you are responsible for becoming more. Ignoring that responsibility creates inner conflict, and inner conflict drains your peace. Peace does not come from avoiding growth. Peace comes from alignment with growth. Think about the moments when you felt most confident. Was it when you were comfortable, or was it when you overcame something difficult? Confidence is built through answered calls. When you choose the harder path, when you choose discipline over impulse, when you choose training over comfort, when you choose silence over argument. Each time you answer the call, you strengthen your character. And character is your true power. The world may not see your inner battle. People may not understand your standards. They may even criticize your discipline. But the call is not for them. It is for you. You cannot outsource your destiny. There is something only you can build, a level of strength only you can develop, a responsibility only you can carry. If you avoid it, no one else can live that potential for you. That is why the call feels personal. It touches your conscience. It reminds you that you were not designed to drift. You were designed to develop. But development requires sacrifice. You may have to sacrifice certain friendships that encourage weakness. You may have to sacrifice habits that comfort you, but limit you. You may have to sacrifice the identity you have been clinging to. Growth always costs something. The question is not whether you will pay. The question is what you will pay for. Will you pay with discipline now or regret later? The call is not about becoming famous. It is not about becoming superior to others. It is about becoming superior to your former self. That is the only worthy competition. Yesterday's you had limits. Today's you can push them. Tomorrow's you can break them. But only if you answer. Answering the call often begins with small acts of courage. Waking up when the alarm rings. Finishing what you start. Admitting when you are wrong. Training when you do not feel like it. Saying no when everyone else says yes. These actions seem simple, but they reshape identity. Identity is not what you say. It is what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly answer the call, you become someone who can be trusted by others, and more importantly, by yourself. Self-trust is rare. Many people break promises to themselves daily. I will start tomorrow. I will try harder. I will change. And when tomorrow comes, nothing changes. Every broken promise weakens self-trust. Every kept promise strengthens it. If you are being called today, respond with one kept promise, not 10, not unrealistic goals, just one non-negotiable action. Then repeat tomorrow. The call will grow stronger as you respond to it. Another important truth: the call does not disappear if ignored. It becomes regret. Years from now, you may look back and realize you felt it. You knew you were capable of more. You sensed the need to step up. But you chose comfort. That realization is painful. Do not let that be your story. You are being called because there is more in you. More resilience, more discipline, more leadership, more control over your emotions, more clarity in your decisions. But that more must be trained. Potential without training is wasted capacity. You do not discover your highest self by thinking about it. You discover it by testing yourself. Push your limits. Sit with discomfort. Practice patience. Practice restraint. Practice consistency. Over time, you will notice something powerful. The call becomes quieter because it is no longer trying to wake you up. You are already awake. And when you are awake, you move with intention. You do not need constant motivation. You do not need external reminders. Your standard becomes internal. That is mastery. Today is special because you are standing at a threshold. On one side is familiarity, the same habits, the same excuses, the same level of effort. On the other side is growth, unfamiliar, challenging, demanding. The threshold is narrow. It is crossed through action, not thought. Step across. Do not wait for perfect confidence. Confidence follows courage. Do not wait for perfect clarity. Clarity follows commitment. Do not wait for fear to disappear. Courage acts despite fear. The call is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be responsible. Responsible for your time. Responsible for your habits. Responsible for your growth. No one else can answer for you. So today, stand still for a moment. Feel that tension inside you, the one that says, I can do better. Do not silence it. Respect it. It is not there to criticize you. It is there to elevate you. And when you respond, not with emotion, but with disciplined action, you will feel something shift. Not excitement, not hype. Strength, calm, grounded strength. Because you will know you are no longer avoiding your potential. You are living it. Today is special because you are being called. Now answer.